I want to tell you about my first night in the mental hospital. I was 22. I was in a bad way, dude. When you lose, or when you start to lose an argument with a voice in your head, in your bathtub, that's telling you to slice your wrists, you kind of got some issues you got to work out, you know? So, I went the therapy route. I went the pharmaceutical route, and it didn't work, is what I'm saying. And I remember after being stood up for a week by the psychiatrist that I was paying $65 for a prescription for a week's supply, mind you. And it was like fucking me up bad. Like I was vomiting, and he was not taking my calls. And I was like, I gotta go. I gotta get help. I gotta get better. So I told my boss, who knew the situation, unfortunately, and said, I'm checking myself in the mental hospital because I can't handle this shit anymore. I gotta get out. And she said, it's fine. So doctor's not answering my fucking calls. I tell my mom, I gotta go to the hospital. I can't handle this shit anymore, you know? So on the way home, I leave that doctor a voicemail. It says, and for the purpose of not remembering his name and legality purposes, we'll call him Dr. Douchebag. Seems fitting. I leave him this voicemail. This is how I said it verbatim, okay? Dr. Douchebag, it's Davlin, but I'm not doing so well, but you don't know that because you won't take my fucking calls! So what I'm going to be doing right now is checking myself into a goddamn hospital! But again, you don't know that because you don't answer your calls, so just so you know, you really shouldn't label people you call paranoid schizophrenics. You shouldn't leave them hanging because it only takes one of us to gang up on your ass. Have a good life. Click. I find out from Mom what I can take with me, which isn't much. It's like a 3-day supply of clothes. No fucking music at all. Couldn't have my MP3 player, which is a big fucking deal for me. So I couldn't have my music. And I go home and I pack and I realize I don't want to take my toothbrush to a mental hospital. So I'm in the fucking convenience store right down the street. And I'm just looking at all the toothbrushes going like, which one am I going to take to the crazy house? There's a question you don't ask yourself very often. I don't want to spend too much because it's going in a fucking crazy house. So I'm going to get the cheap little red one. My little red toothbrush that I put in my knapsack. And I zip up. And I put it in my car and I'm driving. Going, how the fuck did this happen? And I get to my mom's house. My little sister's in the pool because it's fucking June. I'm 22, like weeks away from being 23. My little sister is there, and I'm not close with my family at all for various reasons. And like her and I don't talk, so it's awkward. She's like, "How you doing?" I'm like, "Really? How am I doing? I'm fucking going to a mental hospital. I'm great. How's high school treating you?" She's like, "Well, I'm gonna go swimming." I was like, "Life's grand, ain't it?" Splash away. So I'm sitting there, and I put on my headphones because this is my last taste of my fucking music. And Blue October comes on, and it's the song HRSA. And the first lines in that fucking song, I was committed at 22 just to get over you. It seemed fitting. And I fucking weep. Like it just pours and pours out of me. Like the last year, fucking decade, fucking lifetime of issues. And I'm alone. And my sister's splashing and I hear her laughing and talking on the phone with all her friends. And I just fucking unload. And my mom gets there. And I fucking, compose myself. And we go out to eat. And don't say a word the whole fucking time. It's weird. Her son's going to the mental hospital. What the fuck do you say? So the Rangers are doing great. My son's crazy. So it kind of evens out. And we go to this little Mexican restaurant. And I'm thinking Mexican restaurant, fucking mental hospital toilet, it's not gonna end well. Don't say a fucking word. Then I pump gas for her, and I play HRSA. She's not getting it. She's like, yes, that's a song. It certainly is, Mom. It certainly is. And I wanted the drive there to last forever, but it was over in a fucking instant. And I'm there. I walk in. I start filling out this paperwork. My hands are shaking. And Mom's quiet, not looking at me or anything. So again, what do you say? Right. So, filling out my paperwork, and the lady comes up to me. She's like, we need your shoelaces and your belt. You're a suicide risk. It's like, okay. So, hand her the paperwork, which I half-ass filled out anyway. I fucking just go through this arduous process of taking my shoelaces off. And I hand my belt. And I'm standing, and the second I take off my belt, my pants fucking drop. Because I'm really skinny. I kind of need my fucking belt, alright? So from that point on, I have to walk like this. Otherwise, surprise! Right? And my shoes don't fucking go with me because they're not tied. So everything's falling off, and I'm walking really fucking weird, which really doesn't help. Because, they see me coming, and they're like, this fucking dude's crazy! I'm in this waiting room, and there's, this family playing with a little kid, and I don't know who the fuck's checking themselves in. But it's sad regardless, and my mom goes back with me. And then this doctor calls me back, and she wants to go because she has to be there. And he starts asking me questions, and I answer them. He asks about my dad, and I fucking answer them. Then he asks about my mom, who's sitting right there, and I answer him. I tell the fucking truth. She can't handle it. And she tries to defend herself. I'm like, this is my time. I'm the one in here. Let me talk. Because apparently I got a lot of shit to say. And she kind of looks hurt and wounded, but again, it's about fucking me right now. Not that I'm doing it for attention, but apparently I need some. Go fucking figure. And then it's all a blur. I don't remember much because I was so fucking heavily medicated the whole time I was there. It's a blur. And she gives me a hug. And then I'm alone. In the waiting room, the back waiting room, it was weird. And this male orderly comes up, and he's a few years older than me. It's like, how the fuck did I get here? He's like, we got a problem. I was like, well, we've got several problems. Let's just pile it on, shall we? And he goes, the regular wing for the bipolar, the drug addicts, all that is kind of full right now. So you have to go into the wing with the less than desirables. Like the criminally insane, the ones that you can't even fucking communicate with because they're on a whole other level. He's like, you're gonna see some shit. Check your bags in, doctor needs to see you. And so there's this woman just staring at the wall. And there's 5 different conversations going on at once. And none of them are with each other. It's all with imaginary people that aren't there. And I go into this little room, and there's this doctor, and there's this smoking hot nurse. Please, there's this smoking hot nurse. And I'm so fucking embarrassed to be there, dude. And he starts asking me questions, but I don't want to say a lot in front of her. Go figure. And I was like, can you make her leave right now? So he does. He's like, okay, what's up? I said, because whenever she was there, I would say something kind of hinting as what was really bothering me, and he would nod like he wasn't getting it. So I would just pile on every traumatic memory I could think of. She was like, oh, and this happened. Oh, and this happened. This is fucked up, right? 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 And he wasn't buying it, so I was like, get her the fuck out of here so I can talk. And I said, my ex-girlfriend gave me genital herpes, and I see her every day at work. And he goes, oh, well, you gotta see a urologist about that. You're not crazy, you're just sad. You're about to see crazy, and you ain't it. Off you go. So they're still checking through my bag to make sure everything's legit. And I was like, can I have a fucking cigarette, please? I need one bad. So they point to this door, and you walk out, and it's lit, but it's completely boxed in. It's this big wooden box, so you can't escape. And all over every surface of this box, it's just carvings of some of the weirdest fucking shit. Like, you could get lost and crazy, like, just following those walls. That's kind of where I got the inspiration for my second book. And I'm not alone. There's 2 other dudes there. There's a black dude in his 30s and a white dude probably in his 40s or 50s. And they're reading the Bible. I'm like, shit, this is going to get interesting. Because at this time I was a hardcore atheist, and it was just bad. And they look up at me. And I go, how's it going? And they go, we're reading the Word of God. We don't read so well, but you talk like you do. Join us. And then they scoot over.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, I don't fucking know what I'm supposed to do in this situation. I don't talk about this ever. So I sit down, and they close in really fucking tight. And they say, read to us. And I do. Oh, first the guy over here, the black dude, he introduces himself as Joseph. The other guy goes, they call me Smiley. No, they call me Joker, because I'm always smiling. He's like, that's not reassuring. And they go, read to us. So I started fucking reading out of the Bible next to 2 equally insane individuals in their own right. And I'm like, this is the exact fucking personification I have on organized religion. This is just sums it up in a nice little package. I'm reading to them, and they each give me their own deranged fucking take on what I'm reading. And I just want out, but I don't know the etiquette. I finished my cigarette like 15 minutes ago. And the mail orderly that led me in comes out, and he's like, we need you in here. And I was like, oh, thank God, prayers do come true. And I jump up, and I fucking sprint to him. I was like, what's going on? And he goes, that was about to turn into a situation. We had to get you out of there. Don't talk to those guys. I was like, well, you couldn't let me know before I walked into a fucking box with them. Jesus. Sorry. So I go back up to him, to the front desk, and they're like, okay, you passed inspection. We're going to give you a pill to sleep. I was like, fantastic. Because I need it. And they go, what do you want to drink? And I said, well, what do you got? He's like, well, we have apple juice, orange juice, milk, chocolate milk. And I was like, chocolate milk! With all the enthusiasm of a 5-year-old, because I love me some chocolate fucking milk. And he hands me 2 boxes, which is one more than I wanted, but it's not like I'm going to have a fucking mini fridge in this luxury estate. So I chug them both down, and I take my pill. And he goes, your room is the last door on the right. Every room is monitored for your safety. Leave the door open. So I walk, and I enter the room, and that woman I had previously saw, like, staring at the wall, yelling at it, is now in there naked. And my head's like, okay, how's this gonna play out? Because it was like the worst version of The Graduate you've ever seen. And she just starts stomping her foot going, this is my room! My room! And I go, okie dokie, and I walk out. And I walk up to the mail orderly, and I go, there's a naked woman in my room. This is the first time in my life I'm not totally stoked to say that sentence.